Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I'm Bryan, the Chief Investment Officer and President of J.B. Bryan Financial Group. Look at me. I am like a baby on Christmas morning. I got all my friends with me today, and I'm not just sitting here alone. I love it. I hope that you're checking us out on the AfroEconomics app. Go on your smartphone, go look up, search AfroEconomics, and you can get the app there so that you can watch this at your convenience on your smartphone, or like mine, not so smartphone. And then you have the AfroEconomics.com website also, and you can link in through there. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're talking about the millionaire mindset, learning to, or focusing on, or doing a better job of thinking like a millionaire. So I asked my friends, whom I see as very successful people, who have taken advantage of all the opportunities that life has to offer, and they're still doing it. Nobody here is not, I mean, they are still doing it, still making a difference, still serving the community. Even if they're retired, they're still coming up with new ideas, helping people, helping businesses. And I really appreciate, most importantly, they're supporting my dream of helping you build wealth. Everybody here is committed to your financial success. So if you ever feel like you're alone, you're not. AfroEconomics is all about building wealth within the Black community and helping you have an easier job of making it happen for you. So my friends here are going to share with you what has worked for them, the millionaire mindset, the 10 attributes of AfroEconomics. That's what we're talking about, because those, to me, are the attributes that make your mind prepared for being a wealthy person. And when I say millionaire, I'm underestimating, because many of you watching are going to need a lot more than $1 million to live off of. So we're just using that as a starting point, because they would tell you that $1 million doesn't go as far as you think it does anymore. So with the cost of living going up each year. So, but how do we get that wealth mindset together? How do we do that? We have these 10 key attributes that I've shared with them, that I've taken out of the book, AfroEconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters. I encourage you to take advantage of this book and learn about the 10 principles that we're going to talk about today. And we're going to go into deep detail on Saturday at the AfroEconomics Academy, where I have in the back, you'll see it says iron sharpens iron. I believe that. I believe that you bring your strengths to me, and I help make your strengths more powerful. We sharpen each other. We help each other. We put in that work. We grind. Iron sharpens iron. It's not about like, pencil and paper. It's about let's all put in some work. So let's talk about how they made it happen. Some of the attributes of the millionaire mindset, Our Black Wealth Matters, that one of the 10 principles of AfroEconomics. I mean, it's all of those things. These attributes are entrepreneurship, lifetime learner, integrity, accountability, self-reliance, healthy, legacy, organized, credit savvy, and determined. And there's many more, but I mean, hey, my head couldn't get any bigger, right? But we have these 10 to start with. So if you can help me out, Dr. Leonard Edlow is here with us. We got Dr. Leonard Edlow. We're going to start with what he would like to share. Then we have Patricia Threet, who is here with us as well. She's going to tell you how she did it. This woman is phenomenal. We have retired, fired Chief John Tunstall. And we also have Michael Hutchins, who started his own digital broadcasting radio station, bringing the sound quality that you just can't even imagine to the airwaves of our head, using technology. His experiences with, after all these years of many, many years of serving in the military, retired veteran, he made America great and has his own radio station. He's with us. And we also have Clyde Bowie, who's sitting there saying, well, Dad, what's she gonna say about me? Kind of humble kind of man who has worked. I mean, he has worked and helped everybody. I mean, he has put in years in telecommunications. He's going to tell you how he made corporate America work for him. And we have King Calpani, who spent many, many years with a nonprofit called NAACP. And he has some things to share with us about transitioning from a nonprofit commitment into building your own business. So Dr. Edlow, tell us, out of these 10, what do you think? what has helped you the most?
Well, several of them have played a part, but I think it's more determination.
Okay.
When I went to the schoolhouse, they told me I wouldn't make it. And so that was the first thing. So went through high school. And then when I built the first, well, my father had started the pharmacy, but we built a new building. Went to the bank and they said, you're not gonna make it. We can't loan you the money. So, I kept going. And it happens all along. I mean, even I'm a lifetime learner. So I was running the pharmacies. I was passed from the church. I got 2 degrees.
Yeah.
That's determination. But a few years ago, I was called to be the founding pastor of this church. And we went to the bank, and you've been to the building.
Yeah, very nice.
And the bank we were dealing with says, number 1, you haven't been in existence long enough. Number 2, you don't have enough members. But we were determined, and we got the money.
So you helped your father build that building?
Well, no, he did. He was at the original building, 26 and Q Street. He came in. That was a funny time in life because back when he finished pharmacy school, you had 2 choices when you graduated: open up your own pharmacy or go to work to the post office.
With a pharmacy degree.
And so I joined him in 1970. And we built the building on 25th Street in 74. But like I said, I ran into that, and the bank was supposed to look like me. They would not lend me money. But when you're determined and you're gonna do it, you just keep knocking on doors, because as people always say, no is just another way of saying yes.
Amen.
Just give me a few more things.
That's right.
Bit more information. Show that you're determined and you're gonna make it. But you gotta be self-reliant, because even if you're determined and make money and you wait for other folks to affirm you, you're gonna blow up a whole lot of your money. And then the way information changes, so that you gotta be a lifelong learner, because just like I got a degree 12 years ago, and I mean, it's just changed completely in 12 years. So
since that, right? Since your second one, right? That's great.
And then when we dealing with each other, you gotta have the integrity.
That's right.
If you don't have it,
that's right. Well, Lord, you are good. We can stop right here, y'all. That's beautiful. Well, I can totally agree that we need so many of these principles in order to be successful. Tell us your favorite one, Patricia. And you can't do 6. I'm just joking. No, you can do whatever you like.
Well, for me, it was self-reliance and also accountability, along with determination also.
I love it.
Self-reliance is when I realized, when I look around and my friends, they was in the same boat I was, so they couldn't help me. But at the same token, I had an unrest on the inside of me that I did not want to stay right here for the rest of my life. It got to be a better way.
Woo!
So that's when I started thinking about it. I started praying about it, and then I started working it.
That's right.
Then, while working it, I was on the right track, but I still needed more. And I found JB.
That's so positive.
She helped me with the ideas that I had. She helped me to reach that goal. I held myself being accountable to work my plan so that my plan could work for me.
Because no one can help you if you don't go and seek it.
Exactly.
You know, and you sought out assistance and from professionals that could identify with your mindset. That's beautiful. You're beautiful. I'm so proud of you. I find you to be inspiring. And I remember you, as you were working, and now that you have all of your real estate properties and you're financially independent, and what a story that you have. And that I really find you inspire me. And as you said, we have to be around people that inspire us. We have to keep ourselves, and you probably don't know how many of your friends that you inspire, but I hope that they will use you as an example that you can create the life that you deserve. Because I do. I use you. So how about you, Chief Counsel?
Well, the one that I think is most inspiring me is the lifetime learning. When you start off, you have an idea of where you want to go.
Yes.
But you don't know everything that you need to get there. And as you continue to move forward, you learn some different things. So you have that plan that you originally start out with, you have to modify it some, and you have to be determined. So you have to use determination that there is a goal that you want to reach.
Yeah.
You continue to learn different, you do research for yourself. You speak with your financial advisor, get assistance from her or him, whoever it is. But you also need to understand it's yours. Yours might be different than someone else.
That's right.
You might know what you want. And as we grow and mature, we change our goals.
That's right.
So we have to continue to learn ourselves, learn the environment that we are in, and be determined to reach those environments. Because there are people around us that's going to try to bring us down, and not intentionally, but they see you going somewhere and they will tell you why you're doing this, you shouldn't do this, you should be doing something else. So you have to be determined to reach that goal.
I call them dream killers.
Yes, and one of the things that you must understand that, before that dream can come true, you have to imagine it. Just as our parents told us, you can be anything you want to be, but you had to imagine that you could do it before you could reach that dream, and then you continue to work toward it.
Did you imagine being a fire chief? I mean, a lot of young men imagine being a fireman, I guess, but not even Black men that grew up with you. It was rare to be a fireman.
Yes.
And then did you think I'm gonna be a chief?
Not at the beginning. That's why I said
I had to learn.
Learning and continue to change. I was in the fire department long before I thought mid-level position. If I got to be that, I would be happy. But as I got to that, I wanted more. I could understand that I could achieve more, and I continued to change. And that's why I certify that plan that you had.
Beautiful.
And today, I look at it, and it's just like everyone's saying, the integrity. You want to carry yourself so that you can reach the goal that you're setting for.
Amen. That's powerful. That's good. I love the part, just to think when you said and you admitted it. It's so true. You never thought about being a chief. That shows that how much we can be limited. But once you are in the right environment, then you actually said, wow, this is possible. If I learn everything, if I do what I got to do and learn what I need to get the skills that I need, that's beautiful. Wow. So tell me, Hutch, tell us about your station. What brought you from being a Gulf War survivor? Is that correct? Like, go back, and that to retiring from the military and then saying, I'm gonna start my own business.
Well,
I should stick with that. I don't know. I was curious about that. But which one? Which attribute of this helped you do that? Determination.
I'm a determined individual, and that was one of the reasons why I joined the military, because I was determined to get out of the environment that I was in. And I'm originally from Petersburg, and I knew that had I remained in Petersburg, life wouldn't have been good for me. So the best thing for me to do was to go into the military. Had a young family, and when I joined the military, I was intent on doing 20 years. I was going to retire, whatever it took. I knew I was going to retire from day one. Before I even raised my hand to go into the Army, I'm going to retire. Because that retirement, I'm going to have that check at the end of the day. I'm going to get that check for the rest of my life.
That's right.
Okay.
Amen.
So during the time I was in the military, before I even joined the military, I started DJing. And it's always been a passion. My family's always been in music. And when it got to the point where, before I retired, I was stationed at Fort Bryan, and I was DJing at the NCO club. And the guys from the radio station would come there with their jackets and say, hey, come out there and do this and do that. But they never would give me the opportunity to advance. I would always have to be like a street team guy.
That's right.
And that's not me.
That's right.
I'm a go-getter.
There you go.
And I was playing and I wasn't getting paid for it.
That's right.
But I was learning.
That's right. Good.
And just like an elephant.
Lifetime learner.
That's right. Lifetime learning. So as the years went by, I was like, okay, well, let me go to this radio station. There was another radio station. I said, well, I walked in there and I told the PD, I said, I want your job. Didn't know anything about radio.
Right.
But I knew him.
That's right.
I said, man, I want your job. He was like, yeah, what you gonna do? I said, I don't know what you got. So he said, I got a mix show. I said, okay, I'll take it.
That was perfect.
Bam. The very first mix show that I did, the phone line just lit up
That's so good.
for the whole hour.
That's so good.
And I did it three days, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then, you know, I started to get more with my disabilities with the Army. And I said, hey, at some point I'm gonna have to leave a radio station. And that time came and I left. And I started volunteering at the University of Fayetteville State. And I was teaching DJing to some of the college kids, because when I was coming up, there was nobody to teach me anything.
Good.
And I've been DJing from the turntables to the CDs, the cassettes, the 8-tracks, all that stuff. I don't know if y'all remember the 8-track matchbook in there.
So that's the integrity. You had the integrity to help others, you know, and learn, and determination, and lifetime learner.
So we're gonna fast forward. So
and entrepreneur. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a lot of attributes in here
That's right.
that I can apply to everything.
That's right. Exactly.
So I did my research and I said, you know what? Why can't I do my own radio station? So I did my research. I said, okay, I need to do this, that, and this. And I did all those things.
That's so good.
And when I started my station, I only started it for 4 hours. It was an Easy Sunday show. And that was November 2014. And I was like, shoot, it's 4 hours Sunday, it's 7 days in a week, 24 hours in a day. I can do this 24/7.
There you go.
So I said, okay, bam. And I started doing it 24/7. And then I was like, something ain't right. So I was determined again to find the right software to use, which I'm currently using now, that allows me to do a live broadcast anywhere in the world.
That's great.
I have listeners in over 95 different countries.
That's so good.
I'm on the air 24/7.
That's so good.
You can go to the website. You can request to hear a song. I can voice track it. I can do a lot of things FM radio stations cannot do.
So we're gonna have AfroEconomics on there, right?
That's right.
That's right. That's so positive. Exactly. We got to record it. You heard it. I want to be in how many different countries?
95.
95 different countries. That's right. That's beautiful. Beautiful. So tell me, Mr. Bowie, tell me. You're from Richmond.
I'm from Richmond.
And you went to VUU.
Right.
You know,
Went to
you went
VUU.
straight from high school here in Richmond, Virginia
No, I
to
went to North
college.
Carolina A&T
Did
first,
you?
which was much too much of a party school for me. So I had to leave after a year and a half.
He's saying it wasn't perfect. You're saying that you're not a perfect person. Like, you know,
Definitely not perfect.
you know, so look, remember that, young people. He was determined to keep going. That's right.
Right. So what I'd like to do is kind of deviate just a little from talking about me as much as a message that I've learned that kind of encompasses all of this, which is I've now come to learn to break down life into 4 quarters like a football game, which is the first 20 years, 1 through 20, 21 through 40, 41 through 60, 61 to 80.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not in the third quarter. I'm not. I mean.
Anything after 80 is overtime. You're not going to win the game. You just play for as long as you can and have as much fun as you can. So in that first 20 years, you're not going to earn any money. You don't have any earning potential. You're 20 years old. Even if you're earning the money, you're going to spend it all. From 21 to 40 is when you're establishing your earning potential and making your way in life, trying to figure out what you're going to do. So that's a key time in your life. In that 4th quarter, from 41 to 60, is where you really should be trying to think like a millionaire, because that's kind of your last time out of the shot. You're in that 3rd quarter. The game is really kind of coming to the end at 60. You're looking to retire, you know. And so you're trying to talk to the J.B. Bryans of the world, the people at this table, to find out what they did, what you need to do, so that when you get to the 4th quarter, that you can live and then establish your legacy. So that whether or not you have $1 million or $2 million, that you can then live off of that. And if you're lucky enough to make it to overtime, you have something, again, a legacy to leave. So that's kind
But you would be amazed at the people who actually did their biggest impact on the world in that what you call overtime. It is amazing when you look at statistically. There are some people who didn't write their best books, until then, didn't get acknowledged as a professional until they were in their 80s and 90s. You're like, well, JB, say who they are. I mean, I'm just telling you, this has happened. I know exactly what you're saying. But now, in today's time, we have people 16, 17 using YouTube and this type of technology who are making massive amounts of money. This guy was telling me that this kid, 17, developed a skill of playing games, developed a YouTube following that exceeds so many people that he gets paid over $4 million a year at 20 just from developing his gaming skills. So it's like, amazing on but the challenge there is they are in the first quarter. So they have not learned how to manage it well. So the Bible says that a fool and his money shall soon part. We have some really bad habits at that time. So what we need to do is make sure that no matter what stage we are in our life, that we develop the discipline, and learn about the integrity and why it's important to learn to have good financial habits, to be organized, to be a planner, to be accountable to your money. What can you do productively to make this money work over your lifetime? Like say you play football, you're a professional athlete, right? They make their maximum for some of them in the beginning of their life, but now we're realizing that even that does not have to be the end. See, they've been taught that that's their best quarter, but Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan and them are showing that when you get on the business side, when you learn some of these attributes, you can take what you made in that first quarter, and really, even if it was huge amounts of money in the first quarter, it's still your first quarter, right? So if your first quarter was a winner, then you can, by the time you can continue to grow, but we don't. Sometimes we accept that this is all that I can achieve, and we don't have to. Like I started these every Wednesday just doing teleconference. Now there's people listening to us on the teleconference as well as the YouTube. And I told them, I'm sorry, y'all on the camera, like, what's she talking to? There's a lady back there telling us that we're running out of time, but no, we're going for it today. Like YouTube is good about that. We can talk as long as we want to. That's right. They're like, what is she talking about? But definitely keeping it real.
Two more things.
Yeah.
To your point, is limit your indulgences, minimize your vices, and that will help you get to the point where you say the third quarter, where you don't have the NBA players, the NFL players being broke.
And you definitely ain't getting no overtime, huh? If you maximize your indulgences, right?
No, minimize your indulgences.
Right? Yeah, but if they maximize, they ain't gonna get no overtime. I know. That's a very good point.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, this is very good. And I talk about that a lot in integrity, about the habits that we have. And a attribute here also is healthy. The 10th principle, Black health and Black wealth, because a lot of our earning potential is cut because of unhealthy habits, unhealthy relationships. As we've all said, that environment makes a big difference, in creating a healthy environment. Healthy is not just taking 30-minute walks. But take a 30-minute walk and then you get on toxic phone calls all day or watch toxic television. It defeats the purpose. Or working in a toxic job and you're doing a toxic job and you come home and you're toxic to your children. That is not healthy, and it diminishes everything in this mindset. So King, share with us how you transitioned from, and you are extremely popular for your time that you did with the NAACP in Virginia, and you led it, with such integrity. And how did you transition from working for a nonprofit? A nonprofit is even different than what Clyde had in corporate America. That's why he, is very strategic. You see how he is different, from all of that corporate training, So the nonprofits do a lot of just raising funds and things, doing a lot for free, having to think about profits or getting. So how do you transition? How can you use this? How can you use this millionaire mindset to transition to a business?
Well, I have to really admit that you had a large part in this, because I had a mindset of service, to give all. We were servants, not leaders. and money and wealth building, wealth creation was the furthest thing from our mind. And it was you who had to scold me. And I said, I'm broke. You're not broke. You've got all of these skills and abilities that you aren't counting on. Said, you have been working for the collective for all of these years. Now let's work collectively for economics. Changing one's mindset. I used to run from economic ventures when people said, let me talk to you about this, or let me share this. I don't want to hear it. It was almost a mindset of you got to be poor or poverty stricken to be in the struggle. Yeah. No, it's really just the opposite. And so I would say the legacy, I used to talk about we're from kings and queens and ancient civilizations and the richest and most wealthy in human history. Well, why are we falling by the wayside now? And we cannot continue to allow that to take place. So I have a millionaire mindset. Think like one, act like one, and roll like one. And let's do this. So I'm studying diligently AfroEconomics with J.B. Bryan and changing one's mindset. And I found that I've been able to help change the mindsets of others. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah. Can I say something about nonprofits?
Yeah.
That's a mindset that we have misconstrued. I serve on the boards of a lot of nonprofits. And when I get the statement at the end of the year of what these people are making, most of them are making more than people in the private sector. There's a lot of money there. And I encourage people, look at the nonprofits. I mean, I was chairman of the board of it, and I've got all these degrees. And I was looking at the guy that had a BS in speech, and all the people paying him
more than you were making, right? I know, right?
So I mean, Bonds is a nonprofit.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow! And they own the Redskins.
Yeah,
the Redskins training camp. They sponsored that. That's amazing.
VCU Health System is a nonprofit. That's $1 billion a year enterprise.
So that is, you're right. There's a good point, and that just because they're a nonprofit as far as tax status doesn't mean that they're not profitable.
And
they're not running profitably.
United Way, all these things. It's just see, we got this mindset. So when it comes to our organization, we're not supposed to pay anything.
So true.
Yeah, but that's where a lot of the action is.
That's a very good point. Because there's a whole bunch of nonprofits being opened up. There must be something to it, and it's so true. And the bottom line is that we can still serve, as all of us are showing as examples, that the best leaders are the best servants. You know, and they truly are. But at the same time, we have to make sure that we are healthy in every aspect of our existence, so that we can be the best servant and leader that we can be to them. Because it is the example that we set that really inspires people to move forward. And I think that what we're doing here, what I want to happen here, I hope that you gain from this, is that you're seeing that it hasn't been easy for anybody. I mean, everybody told you about how important determination was to what they did. If it had been easy, they wouldn't have to be determined. I mean, that we all agree. Everybody has their different way of approaching it, how we did it, which part of this mindset, is important to them or is most important. But when it really comes down to this, we can't make it without it. I mean, we can't make it without constantly understanding. As I'm learning here, we're teaching each other. We're all learning because we're committed to a lifetime of learning. Unfortunately, too often, and you'll see in the book when I talk about knowledge is a principle of AfroEconomics, that we don't know how important practical knowledge is. We think that just because we go to school and in many cases go into massive debt. I remember I hired someone one time and she said, well, that's not really in my major. And I wrote her a nice letter and asked her to go somewhere else, because I cannot operate a business based on the limitations of what you feel that were created for you through your education. Your education is just to begin your learning in life, But don't ever feel that education is to limit you. Education is just is a process, and it's not just what's in a book. It is what we've taught here. This right here. That's why all of my videos put under education category, because I want us to know that education indeed can be entertaining, but it's more important that you learn that education can also be free. And it can be free. So thank you so much for hanging out with us today. She told me again to stop. She was like all like this and everything, but I really appreciate it. I will talk to y'all forever. Thank you all so much for all my friends hanging out with me today. Anybody else have anything to say? Because you two will let us talk all day. Y'all good? Y'all good? We good? So make sure you go to the website, AfroEconomics.com or jbbryan.com, the YouTube channel AfroEconomics with JB Bryan, and subscribe. Check out the app as well and click like also.